Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a Dazzled or Disappointed for you. These are going to come a little fewer and far between just because I think the holiday stuff is kind of dwindling down. And I've had this one for a little while and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a Dazzled or Disappointed on it just because Too Faced has been hit or miss, although I've really enjoyed the last couple of releases, but I've had a chance to play around with it and I do have some thoughts for you, so I thought, well, you know what, it's still in stock, let's do a Dazzled or Disappointed, and that way, in case you are a doggy lover like me and are wanting to pick this little guy up for a couple of different reasons, one of course being the eyeshadows too, it's a good cause because there is a donation. Too Faced is making a donation to a pet foundation, and so I'll go over that here with you in a second, but that was very long and drawn out. Let's get started with this Dazzled or Disappointed. Okay, so speaking of doggy videos, my little pup is downstairs right now. He's laying down, but this little guy right here, he's my parents' dog. I just dropped my phone. His name is Fluffy, and he's a schnoodle, and he's a sweet pea, so he does let me pick him up, so I thought, well, I'll put him in this video. Very appropriate because of the palette we're about to review. Bruce doesn't let me pick him up. He doesn't like it. There are times when I have to, but it's rare that I pick him up. He hates it. It really stresses him out, and it's always been like that ever since I brought him home from the Humane Society. And this little guy is also adopted. He's from the Humane Society, but he does let me pick him up. So, little lovies. Okay, I just thought I'd showcase him for the video. Thanks, Fluffs. Good boy. Okay, so, good boy. Alright guys, so let's go over this little palette. The box looks like the palette, so I always love that because I can trash this. And then it is one of their little metal tin type packagings. Inside you get your typical little mirror, and then you do get really nice shades. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 18. I should always count these before I start the video, but I forget to, and I end up having to count them on camera. My bad. So here you go. Here's an up close of what these look like. Kind of a departure for a fall/winter release. These are more like, I don't know, I guess you kind of have a mix of springy and fall, but I gravitate more towards like springy when I see these. And then on the back you've got just a little, you've got a picture and a little description on there. So let me read you a little bit of what it says on the Too Faced website. That is where it is available. It's exclusive to the Too Faced website. I can't talk today. Let's see. Okay, it's 18, just a little tidbit, it's 18 brand new matte and shimmer shades in exclusive Clover packaging. So these are brand new shades, no repeats. It's Puppy Love at First Sight. So to celebrate the launch of our Clover palette, we are donating $250,000 to Best Friends Animal Society. So I am not in the loop of what that is. I assume it's like a humane society, and then of course formulated without gluten and parabens, and it is cruelty free. So I know a lot of y'all look for that, and it's got the little bunny, the little symbol for cruelty free. So that's really nice. Now let's go into swatching. I'm wearing it on my eyes today in addition to something else, so I'll go over that with you here in a little bit. But I do always like to wear the palette or the product I am reviewing the day I'm going to film, so that you can really see how it applies, how it works, like just on display and not in the palette by itself. So let's start with these swatches and then we will go from there into thoughts. The first four are Puppy Eyes, Lucky Clover, Chihuahua, and Fur Baby. And that's what those look like right there. I will tell you that the mattes are very soft in this palette. It's something that I'm not used to. Mattes can be kind of, as of late, I have come across quite a few mattes just over different brands, not any brand in particular, that have been kind of dry and stiff to the touch. So it's kind of nice to be able to feel some, you know, softness right there with the mattes. I will tell you, I'm swatching a couple of the shimmers here next. The shimmers are very, very pigmented, so that's a departure from the last, you know, year of Too Faced, where I have thought a lot of the stuff has just kind of been a little bit lackluster and not as pigmented as I remember Too Faced to be, but this one they did kind of amp it back up, which is very nice, a very pleasant surprise. So these two are shimmer shades, and then you get back into, I think this one's also kind of has some of that Too Faced loose sparkle that if you don't use a glitter glue will fall down. But there's another matte right there. And wow, I must be out of it today. I have a lot on my mind. It's Thanksgiving week and I'm thinking of all the things I need to do. I didn't give you the names of those shades, so just so that you know, those first two shades were hashtag save them all. Oh, I wish we could save all the puppies of the world. And then the next, that turquoise blue shade was Spoiled. The next one was I Rough You, and then the next one after that, which was that kind of mauve-y matte that I pointed out, is called Paw Print. Let's move on to the next four. It's Ruh-Roh, which reminds me of Scooby-Doo. Love is Love, Wet Kisses, and Woof. And Woof is a black, but it does have specks of sparkle in it, so it's going to be that kind of sparkle, again, that's not really built into the formula of the eyeshadow. It just kind of is a little bit loose, and it's that kind that will flake down, like I said, if you don't wear a glitter glue. So that's what that looks like right there. Not your richest, blackest black, but pretty decent. Your next four are Cuteness Overload, Best Friends, Cuddle Buddy, Daddy Loves Me, and then the Best Friend shade is kind of like that shade I have mentioned to you before that brands like to put out, that's kind of like the MAC Blue Brown Pigment. I feel like you can find this quite a bit now because a lot of brands tend to come out with it, but to me, MAC's Blue Brown Pigment is the original, although this one's pretty amazing. That's what that looks like. That one did swatch pretty patchy. It's called, it's the one that says Daddy Loves Me. It's the one I'm wearing in my crease today. And I really had no issues, but it does swatch pretty badly. But anyways, that's what those look like right there. One of my favorites is that blue-brown type shade called Best Friends. It performs very well, but that's what those look like right there. We're down to the last two, and these two, actually, they're side by side, and I just think they go perfect together. Like for an eye look, these two would be paired beautifully. This is Too Faced Mascot, and this is Good Boy. I'm just gonna say it. Good Boy is like a, it's like a pea green. It's just kind of, it's an interesting green. It's really like a mustard, I said green. It's like a pea yellow. What pea is green? That is so weird. Okay, moving on. Moving on. I'm not all in it today. So there we go. Those are the last two. It's like a mustard pea yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. That's what those look like. Okay, that was it. Those were all the swatches. Let me zoom you in so that I can tell you what I used. Let me just point it out to you right now. So all over transition shade, I used this shade called Fur Baby. It's like a kind of a medium chocolatey brown. And then I deepened up the crease with this Daddy Loves Me shade. It's kind of like a berry shade. From there, I went in all over the lid with Wet Kisses, which is this coppery shade right here. And then I deepened up the outer crease with, if I can find it, right there, hashtag save them all. So that's what I did. I did use tape today to sharpen up the line, but those are the ones that I used. Oh, and then in my inner corner, I did use the shade I Rough You, which is this light pink right here. So I did not use any of them wet. I just applied them with a dry brush. And then I did, once I zoom you in, I'll tell you what I used on top. So you can tell that so I used that lid color that I showed you, that coppery shade. I deepened it up. You can tell there's a sparkle on top, and that is the Natasha Denona, I think it's called something like Chroma Crystal top coat or whatever. It's like an eyeshadow. I picked one up last minute during the VIB sale because I had been wanting to try them out. Wasn't willing to pay $28, but I was willing to pay like $21 or $22. And that's what I have over top. That's why it's sparkly. I don't want you thinking that that's the eyeshadow palette and like, oh my gosh, I need that palette in my life because it's so super sparkly. Totally wrong direction. Anyways, but that's what that looks like. I do feel like they applied and blended very, very well. I had absolutely no issues. So going into the thoughts portion, first of all, the fact that it's a doggy themed eyeshadow palette, you know, dogs are, I think, I love dogs. RC, my husband, jokes around with me because I can't walk past a dog without asking if I can pet it. And he's like, you just can't keep your hands off dogs. You walk by one and you're like, ooh, I want to like, you know, I want to pet, I want to touch. And I do. Every time I walk by one, you know, if somebody's walking a dog, they have them on the leash. I do go, you know, courtesy, of course, you don't just go up and start touching somebody's dog, but I do ask if I can pet their dog, and I can't resist. Doggies are so cute to me, and of course, I feel like I have the best dog of life. I think he is 1 in a million, 1 in 100 million. Bruce is just so, so special to me. And so I do love doggies, and I think, you know, I am a huge advocate on adopting a dog as opposed to a breeder. Because dogs, just FYI, my family and I, my parents growing up, with the exception of the dog I grew up with from the time I was born, we have always done adopted pets, adopted doggies from the Humane Society. And it is true what they say, that a doggie that you adopt, like from the Humane Society or shelter, it's almost like they have a deeper appreciation and love for you than a puppy that you're going to get from a breeder, because a puppy is going to know love their whole life. But a lot of times when you adopt a doggie from a shelter, they've known hard times, you know, there's some, it's sad to say, that maybe even have been abused, dropped. I don't know, it's left outside. It's just, anyways, Bruce was one that had been, he's an indoor dog, he's a beagle, and he had been left outside, like they had him as an outdoor dog, and so he was surrendered to the shelter when he was 2, about to be 3. Anyways, but, so the point I'm trying to make is, it's almost like they love you and appreciate you even more. It's really strange, but if you've had both dogs, if you've had a doggy puppy from a breeder, and if you've adopted, you can tell the difference. So I am a huge advocate for adopting your doggy. Take one off, take one out of the shelter to make room for the next one, and just that doggy's gonna love you so, so much. So anyways, the fact that this was doggy themed, I mean, of course I was like, okay, you have my interest, but again, Too Faced has been kind of hit or miss for me, so it's not like I've been jumping at the opportunity to get a Too Faced product. And so this one, I passed on the first launch, mainly because I wanted to kind of see how it was going to perform based on other people's reviews. I also wanted to like taper off buying so much makeup for holidays, so I said, you know what, I'll wait till the next month when they re-release it, which I did. And I'm going to be upfront and honest, as I always am. I'm glad I did pick it up because I really, really love this palette. It's weird. It's like the most, I've heard people say it's kind of childish and kiddie, and yeah, it kind of is. I mean, I get that. It's cute. But yes, it's the kind of look that you would see in a child's makeup. Little, toy box kind of thing. I love the shadows in this palette. They perform really, really nicely. Give you one last look. They perform really, really nicely. They go on smoothly. I didn't have any problems blending. I am enjoying the pigmentation. I love it. I'm happy to say that I'm loving this Too Faced palette. So anyways, those are my thoughts. It was $49 for those of y'all who are interested. Because I didn't hit the $50 for minimum shipping, I had to pay like $5 shipping for $1, which was, this is why I love Sephora, because you get the free shipping. But anyways, I do love it, guys. I think it's really, really nice. You can create kind of a lot of looks with this. Like I said, I feel like it mainly screams spring to me, but there's some other shades in which you could make it more fall and winter appropriate. Well, winter now, we're almost in December. All right, guys, I hope you have found this to be helpful. I know there was a lot of rambling. I think I kind of like mixed up my words and stuff, but anyways, hopefully I got the point across. I hope you have found this video to be helpful and useful for you if you were on the fence or interested in picking up this palette. Alright guys, before I let you go, you know I have to give you the verse of the day, and it says, it's from 2 Thessalonians 1:11, and it says, "We constantly pray for you, that our God may count you worthy of his calling, and that by his power he may fulfill every good purpose of yours and every act prompted by your faith." Guys, this is Thanksgiving week. Today is Monday for me, so we are just a few days away from Thanksgiving. I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy Thanksgiving. We have so much, despite what's going on in the world, the chaos, the confusion, the everything. We have so much to be thankful for. Y'all know I am a Christian, and I love sharing my faith with you. I realize not every one of you shares my same faith, but I know that we can agree on the fact that we have a lot to be grateful for. So I just want to wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day, enjoy the time with your family and being grateful. I am incredibly grateful, most of all, for Jesus, my Savior, and I know that we're coming up on the Christmas season and that it just deepens my appreciation for him. But we all have so much to be grateful for, and I hope that we can all realize that and just give thanks, enjoy our families, enjoy the day. I hope a lot of y'all are off on that day. I know they open stores like halfway through Thanksgiving Day, and I am not okay with that because I feel everybody deserves a day off and time with their families. So I hope you are going to be able to enjoy the day off. You guys take care. I'll see you very soon. Bye.